What's up, guys? I'm Taylor with TK Disc Golf, and today we are looking at the Proton Atom. The Atom was originally released in Electron plastic a couple years ago, and as you know, Electron is a baseline plastic, so it would beat in a lot quicker than, let's say, this Proton premium plastic, so it would become a little bit more understable than the original flight. Luckily, premium plastics hold their flight characteristics much better, so I'm really excited to see how these things beat in over time. We've got a 169 gram, which is orange or green, 172 gram, and lastly, the gray 175 Electron. Also, we're going to be using the friction disc golf clubs for this whole video. Alright, we're going to be looking at the 169 gram first. The basket was about 260 feet away. These shots were on average about pin high or just about 10 feet, 15 feet past the basket. So really able to get this putter out to some good distances as far as putters go. But really, you sit there and throw this thing on a little hyzer straight at the basket. It will flip up, go dead straight for about 80-90% of the flight, and then gets that little tiny baby fade at the end. Whereas like Electron would sit there and go dead straight or get a little bit of a high-speed turn and stay turned over the whole flight. Really liking the Proton plastic because it actually has that final tiny little baby fade to where it can handle a little bit more power than, let's say, the Electron version. There I threw an Anheuser and it kind of went off frame, and you could see it going over the basket. But next we're going to look at the 172 gram. It is 3 grams heavier than that first orange one I was throwing, but the only difference is that I noticed where it seemed to flip up just a tad bit slower than the lighter weight, and it also was able to hold hyzer just a little bit better. As you can see there, that one was cruising right past the basket. Also, Anheizers, it really likes to hold those Anheizers. Like 75% of the flight, it'll stay turned over, and at the very end it seems to pan out and drop. So you can get some really cool S shots with that, especially a wooded course where you're not comfortable throwing a forehand. You could sit there and throw this thing on a 250-foot turnover, 275, no problem. Now finally we're going to look at the 175 gram Electron Atom that I have. This one I only threw one round at the circuit in 2015, and as you can clearly see, the Electron plastic right off the bat has that much faster hyzer flip and a little bit more high-speed turn. Now granted, I think I'm going to be bagging both an Electron and a Proton Atom in my bag just because there's a slight difference. That Proton obviously has a little bit more stability, whereas the Electron, the more you beat it in, the more turn you get, so you're able to beat them into a more easy turnover disc. But next thing I want to show you guys is how good of an upshot disc the Proton Atom is. Granted, I do use an Electron Atom all the time for upshots that I want to go absolutely dead straight. As you can see, these Protons have a nice little baby fade at the end. Just aim slightly right at the basket, and it seems to always have that fade about 70-80% through the flight. There was the Electron one I just threw, absolutely dead straight. So I have a feeling I'm going to go into the Proton Atom a lot for upshots, especially ones where I want it to go dead straight but have a little bit of a fade at the end. They have some good glide too for these low power shots, so I'm really excited to see that with them. Lastly, I want to show you guys what the Atom putt's like. Granted, I normally do putt with an Electron ion, so it is a much more overstable putter when compared to the Atom. So I'm having to give them a lot more power to get them to glide at the basket. The Atom has so much glide, you barely have to throw these things to get them there inside like 20 feet. It's a point and shoot putter, so if you're not aiming for the dead center pole, you're going to miss left or right. It's very unforgiving because of that. So you got to make sure you're up and down with that pole to get it to go in the basket. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe because we're going to be doing lots of videos for the new releases for MVP and Axiom Discs this year. Thanks for watching.